These live shows in the morning, preview shows, are going to become a daily thing. Hard thing, you know. It's what we do. It's what we do, punters. It's what we do. All right. Let's kick in. We'll get set up. We'll get organised. We'll pull up the right formats. And then we'll go for it. Can't wait to get you home. Hot thing. Oh, we don't need that. We need this. ChatGPT. Yeah, we'll use this version, eh? Why not? Yeah, we'll use this version today. Something a bit different. All right, we'll do Ballarat first. Ballarat first. We've got an hour and a half. We've got an hour and a half to play. Play in the sunshine. Ballarat, race 1. Then I'll go into it. Once it decides to do the do.
Race 1 at Ballarat, the Peter Tobin Funerals maiden plate, over 1,400 meters on the synthetic surface, brings together a field of 9 with a mix of exposed form and untapped upside. With the rail in the true position and the synthetic track providing a consistent surface, we're likely to see a fair contest, and the moderate tempo expected should favor runners with tactical speed. Exceed Success profiles as the one they have to beat. He brings strong recent form, including a narrow second at Geelong over 1,300 meters and a credible fourth at Wangaratta over the mile. That form holds up well against decent maiden company. Despite drawing barrier 8, his early speed and fifth up fitness base give him every chance to cross and control. The main query is how he handles the synthetic, but if he adapts, he'll be hard to run down. Bubbles time is the key danger. She's put together a consistent prep with a narrow second and a solid third at Kyneton over 454 meters, plus 2 runs at Ballarat to her name. From barrier 2 with Jayla Kennedy's 1.5 kilo claim, she maps to get a lovely run just behind the speed. Now 6th up and race fit, she gets every chance to strike. Sweater Girl is the X factor. Her debut 5th at Stall over the unsuitable 1,100 meter trip was sound, and her jump out since, particularly a win at Ballarat, suggests she has upside. Her breeding points to improvement as she gets out in trip, and she looks well placed to improve sharply second up. Aberlutely is lightly raced and has contested stronger maidens at Caulfield and Geelong. The gaps in those runs are a worry, but her pedigree is stout, and the switch to synthetic might help her find form. Kitty Hawk resumes second up and has the Noble and Coffee combination in her corner. Her only run on the synthetic wasn't great, but she's entitled to improve off the first up run. Say It Zesty draws wide in barrier 9, but has some upside for the Alexander Bates combination. The draw is tricky, but she's not hopeless. Asterope draws well in barrier 1, but her overall form is weak and her synthetic runs haven't been inspiring. Hisa Raider and Lost in Paris look outclassed on exposed form and jump out evidence. In sum, the race looks to revolve around Exceed Success and Bubbles Time, who bring the strongest form and best setups. Sweater Girl shapes as the main value play.
All right, let's go through the ratings versus market prices to kick off. Ballarat race 1. Exceed Success rated 3.3, being bet at 5.0, good overs. Bubbles Time rated 3.9, being bet at 3.3. Sweater Girl rated 6.6. being bet at 6.0. Absolutely rated 11.0, being bet at 7.5. Kitty Hawk rated 13, being bet at 5.5, unders, potential lay. Say It Zesty rated 16.5, being bet at 3.8, as you're laying the race, supposedly, by Seraphine's ratings. Asterope rated 27.0, being bet at 61.0. More than double its rated price. He's a Raider rated 55, being bet at 81, and Lost in Paris rated 110. Don't get lost in Paris. Like the guy who owns Messenger. Not Messenger, Telegram. Watched his interview last night with Tucker Carlson. This was a good interview. That wasn't politically motivated. I don't know whatever would be. All right, so let's have a look at this race from a form perspective now, because that's what we really need to do. Okay, Exceed Success, she's got it top rated at 3.3 versus 5.0. By Exceedance out of the Big Brown mare, placed 1 of 6, goes to 1400 now. Well, it doesn't go to 1400, but off the back of its best form at Geelong over 1300, when it was second to Heavenfield, you have to query how much more upside it has, while Bubbles Time, the second top rated, which is unders, the number 6 via her rating, by reward for effort out of a Val Royal mare, placed 3 of 7. Once again, you've got to wonder how much upside is left in that profile. Just myself flicking down through the field. Say It's Zesty comes off a good trial second at Donald prior to debut. Failed on debut, but that Donald second, and the fact it ran 4th of 10 on the synthetic in another jump out reads well. Absolutely by Manhattan Rain out of a Teofilo mare. It looks half well placed. Trial second on the Heath track, and then a soft look around Balnarring, being bet at 7.5. They've got it unders, but yeah, I don't think this is really a betting race. Bear, the 7 Kitty Hawk, 5.5 by Merchant Navy out of a Dubai Destination mare, second of 7 in a jump out at Ararat prior to failing on the all-weather first up. Deserves one more chance, you would think. I'd be more leaning towards, off the top of my head, in the short, between Kitty Hawk and Absolutely. That's the way I'd be leaning here. If I was going to dive deep into the race right now, but we're just going through the previews and the ratings and seeing what Serafin's got to say about everything, punters, you know. Let's go to race 2. Race 2, Ballarat, punters. I haven't identified a major betting angle out of race 1. Let's go to race 2.
Race 2 at Ballarat. The Whitford Liquid Waste 3YO maiden plate over 1,400 meters on the synthetic assembles a competitive field of 11 with varying levels of race experience and upside. The rail is in the true position, and the surface should play fairly, with a moderate tempo forecast, favoring runners with tactical speed and early position. Sinsincity is the standout. She's posted 2 runner-up finishes at Kyneton over 1,203 meters and Kilmore over 1,200 meters, followed by a third at Seymour. Those form lines have been franked by subsequent winners at Twisted Queen and 44 Magnum. While she draws barrier 11, her early gate speed and Ryan Hurdle's aggressive style should see her push forward and offset the draw. She's clearly knocking on the door. MS Hubble is the logical danger. She's been ultra consistent, beaten just a nose at Mildura over 1,400 meters last start, and narrowly missing the run prior at Ballarat over 1,500. From barrier 2 with Neil Farley aboard, and now 6 runs deep into her prep, she maps beautifully to stalk the speed and be in the finish. Matron Samsung is also in the mix. She ran second by 1.75 lengths at Mornington over 1,500 meters, and a close-up 4th at Cranbourne over the mile in deeper company. Blinkers go on here, and Zach Spain takes the ride for the Moody stable, which is striking at a strong clip. She's proven at the trip and looks well-placed back to maiden grade. Gift is a lightly raced improver. Her 4th at Seymour over 1,300 meters was solid, beaten just over a length, and she looks suited third up now, stepping to 1,400. The synthetic surface could bring out further improvement, and she has each-way claims. The Boss Man is a first starter from the Lindsay Smith yard with solid jump-out form, a second and a third in recent efforts. He's well-bred, and with the Smith and Kersley combo in play, market support would be telling. However, he's a query on debut over 1,400 and the synthetic. Washier Mouth Out showed something on debut and maps for a soft run from barrier 1. He's not hopeless and can improve, though he'll need to elevate sharply. The remainder, Don't Tell Harry, Don't Share Shamus, Something Super, So Long Ago, and Too Many Steps have either drawn poorly, failed to show significant form, or lack the depth of opposition required to feature prominently here. In summary, the race revolves around the trio of Sinsincity, MS Hubble, and Matron Samsung, all of whom bring proven form, fitness, and tactical setups. Gift and the Boss Man profile as the 2 potential spoilers.
All right, let's have a look at the market here. Cincinnati's come out, 25% of the market deduction versus ratings. So that makes Miss Hubble rated 3.6 being bet at 2.5 unders. Matron Samsung, now rated 4.3, being bet at 3.2 unders. Third top rated Gift, rated 7.0, being bet at 6.5 minor unders. The Boss Man, it's me, remember, wear name badges. Rated 8.5, being bet at 5.5 unders. Wash your mouth out. I don't need to tell any punters to do that today because no one's allowed to talk. Wash your mouth out. Rated 3.5. Rated 13.5. Being bet at 7.0 unders. Don't Tell Harry. Rated 18.0. Rated 8. Oh, it's out. So it's another 5% of the market out. Too Many Steps. Rated 22.0. Being bet at 101. So Long Ago. Yeah, others longer. So I'm just going to run down through this field because I've got a bit of an opinion here of a few of these. Now, from a form perspective, a breeding and form perspective, the angles I would be looking at here straight off the bat are the number 5, the Boss Man, which has been bet at 5.5, Blinker's first time. The jump out second at Geelong latest, splitting Huey and Lovano was good, both good form references. Lindsay Smith trains, Fred Kersley up. By Puce and Stallone, the good son of Shamadal out of a Street Boss mare. It's a real synthetic pedigree, that. You know, I'm going with synthetic fine. And the other one that's of a little bit of interest, punters, obviously Matron Samsung's got claims, being by Hellbent out of a USA bred aptitude mare. It's a real dirt pedigree, synthetic here. You've got to trust that Moody's got it right, first up from a spell, likely to have come on since last prep. And the fact it goes to 1400 on the damn side of the pedigree suits as well. Blinkers go on first time, nose roll off first time. Interesting gear change for a Moody runner. Obviously, Miss Hubble sets the standard, but second at its last 2 starts, found one better each time. Will it find one better again here? Every chance. And the two that sort of surprise, that could surprise as well, are the 10 So Long Ago, by So You Think out of a Rubik mare. The Rubik blood on the bottom half of that pedigree tells me it should handle the all-weather. Third of 5 to jump out behind Chapeau and Sucker For You. And also the 11. I'm a little bit surprised that this is 100 to 1. Too Many Steps. Not a huge fan of All Too Hard as a sire, but he can get a good horse. And out of a Royal Academy mare on the bottom half tells you it's going to handle the all-weather. All right. Second of 6 in a Kyneton jump out back on the 11th of April. First start, 6 of 6 over 1200 at Kyneton. Then went to Ballarat. Flash big pars and deep stretch. Beaten 6 lengths, wide margin winner, gonna do. But we're still in its best work through the line for a 37k tag. And now goes to 1400 metres. You'd have to expect a new peak. So it may run some kind of race at 100 to 1. Too Many Steps. Yeah, so look, I've revolved my form analysis around the 5, the Boss Man, from my perspective. And, you know, you wouldn't be in trouble if you had to throw up the stumps on Too Many Steps. 100 to 1, 18 the place. And as I said so long ago, being by So You Think out of a Rubik mare, it's likely to improve as well, second up here for the Bank Shard. But obviously, Miss Hubble's the favourite on the back of 2 seconds in a row at Ballarat and Mildura. It's got to switch to the all-weather here. Is there any further scope for improvement? It's been up for a while. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, I'll be looking to find something to beat it. Let's go to race 3, punters. Race 3.
Race 3 at Ballarat, the Minhari Maiden Plate, over 1,500 meters on the synthetic, looks a competitive affair, but one where a few progressive types stand out above the rest. More Than Efficient is clearly the one they have to beat. His last start, second on the 22nd of May at this track, and distance saw him beaten just over 5 lengths by a smart winner, with the third horse also franking the form. That run was full of merit, and second up here, with the benefit of that hit out, he looks ready to peak. The Savabeel pedigree suggests he'll continue to improve over these distances, and from barrier 2, he can settle midfield and use his staying strength late. Michael Hickmott has him ticking over perfectly. Done Wondering is the main danger. He was 4th behind More Than Efficient at this track and trip last start, and looks to be a natural leader in a race with only moderate early speed. He has a done deal pedigree which suits the 1500 meters, and a recent jump out win adds fitness and confidence. The challenge is the wide gate. Barrier 9 could force him to do a bit of work early to cross, but he'll take catching if he finds the front comfortably. Southby is a serious threat. The Moody and Coleman camp have him coming along nicely, and his last run at Pakenham, when 4th and beaten just over a length, was solid. He steps to 1500 meters now 3rd up, which looks ideal, and draws to get every chance. Expect him to be strong late and right in the finish. Gravitation, also from the Moody and Coleman yard, brings some solid form into this. She ran 4th at Bendigo in a fair effort and gets barrier 1 here with Declan Coffey taking the ride. She's still putting it all together, but the upside is there, and she maps for the perfect run in transit. Lord Fox and US and them are both lightly raced and open to improvement, but they'll need to lift significantly on what they've shown to date. Candidasa and Rhett appear outclassed on exposed form and haven't done enough to suggest they're contenders here. Overall, the map should see Done Wondering take up the lead, with More Than Efficient and Southby camped close enough to launch late. On balance, More Than Efficient's proven synthetic form and ideal setup second up give him the edge.
Yeah, all right, okay. Let's have a look at the prices versus the ratings. What comes out? Okay, all right. More Than Efficient rated 2.80, odds on 1.5. Done Wondering rated 4.5, being bet at 3.5. Southby rated 5.5. Okay, it's out, so that makes it an 18-cent deduction. Just let me see if any of these others are out. Since I did the previews this morning. Gravitation, that's fine. Us and them, it's fine. Candidasa, fine. And Brett, yeah, okay, so 18-cent deduction. All right, so More Than Efficient, rated 2.4, being bet at 1.5. Done Wondering, rated 3.7, being bet at 3.5. Southby, rated 4.6. Oh, it's out, that's right. Gravitation, rated 5.5, being bet at 6.5. I'll get to it in a second. Lord Fox, rated 18.0, being bet at 10.0. Others longer, not worth looking at. Okay, so look, there's going to be a lack of pace in this race, which more than Efficient has an adaptable pace profile. The odds-on elect that's being bet at 1.5, but you know I'm always going to look around a horse odds on and try and find an angle to get it beat. No doubt it's well bred by Savabeel out of a poor Moy mare, but yeah, it was beaten a wide margin by Winning Toast first up, 5.2. A little bit of a query about the depth of the form coming out of it. This is a stronger tag level, despite it still being a maiden. From a value perspective, I'm starting to wonder, punters. Done Wondering, jump out winner by Done Deal out of a very good Reduced Choice mare, Les Wonder. I'm pretty sure she was a Group 1 winner from memory. Just check that. I'm pretty sure she was a Group 1 winner at some stage in her career. She's a listed winner. She won the Keith Nolan. Yeah, she won the 2-rack. I thought so. She only won 3 from 24, but she did win a 2-rack. So that's a pedigree that works. Matt Kamani's got it. Ran 4th of 12 behind More Than Efficient in that same Ballarat race where it tried to make all. More Than Efficient came from off the pace. Done Wondering potentially gets a soft trip here on the front. Second up fitter. It was only, a length behind More Than Efficient that day. Can it reverse that form? Every chance. Now second up, while More Than Efficient also second up, but the pace profile's against it here. I'm not too concerned about Done Wondering having to cross from an outside gate. You know, there's not a lot of pace in the race, so it won't have to do too much work early. But the other one that sparks a little bit of interest, well, there's actually two. The 10 Gravitation from the Moody Yard, which is now second up, coming off a stronger Cranbourne maiden. The jump out win at Pakenham prior to that was good, and it's also has a jump out second on the synthetic track at Pakenham too. So you know it's going to handle the track. It draws the one alley. That gives it the ability to go either forward or back with equal effect. Likely to go forward under the pace profile. Harry Coffey won't be caught napping. And they're going to bet it 6.5. So being out of a commands mare, there's good speed on the bottom half of the pedigree. So you think you can get a horse that can, get less than a mile. This is 7.5 furlong. And one that may be of interest, that may be worth looking at, once again, it's at a very big price, it's 120 to 1 outsider. But Us and Them by Pewson Staloon out of a Danehill Dancer mare. Son of Shamadal out of a Danehill Dancer mare, the Edwards Yard. Crossover noseband first time, nose roll off first time. That third of 5 in a 1700 metre jump out at Geelong on the 14th of May. Tells you to be rock hard fit coming in here. It's been off from 27 days since then. Only had one start in its debut prep when it was down the track at Bendigo, but 126 to 1, it's a big price, and it does look overs. 3 trials leading in this prep. It's rock hard fit. It may be worth a little throw at the stumps, but remember, it's only 2 place dividends as well. Look, from a value perspective, you have to lean towards number 10, Gravitation, on face value. There. You know, if you want to take on the odds on pop. Yeah. Race 4.
Race 4 at Ballarat. The Vale Brendan Drexler Class 1 handicap over 1,200 meters on the synthetic. Shapes as a competitive sprint, but one where a few key contenders hold a clear edge. Spirited Defense looks the one to beat. His dominant maiden win at this track and trip on the 22nd of May was emphatic, putting a 5.25 length margin on his rivals and doing it with authority. He showed the ability to settle just behind the speed and power away late, which is
Just hold on here too. There's been 2 scratchings out of this, Gonna Do and the Mount, which he talks about in the preview. As I said, I did these previews 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning.
an ideal profile for synthetic racing. From barrier 3, and with Harry Coffey sticking, he gets every chance to go back-to-back and looks well above average. Natho is the main danger. He won his maiden here over 1,200 meters just 3 days after Spirited Defense on the 25th of May, and did it the tough way, holding off late challengers to score by just over a length. He maps for a soft run from barrier 2 with Declan Bates aboard, and his trust in a Gus pedigree suggests he'll thrive on the synthetic. He's racing with confidence and can measure up. Wodares Wins is another serious contender. A proven synthetic performer, he comes off a strong win at Pakenham over this trip on the 2nd of June. He sat just off the speed and was too strong late, winning by a length. From barrier 6 and with Jake Noonan aboard, he's capable of replicating that performance and can finish off strongly if they go hard early. The Mount brings honest form to the table. He's won a race and placed in another recently, showing consistency. Right. But the question mark is whether he handles the drop back to 1,200 meters and the switch to synthetic. From barrier 4, he'll get the right run, and while he's more a place chance, he's not out of it. Typhoon Tony is dropping in grade after struggling in tougher company since breaking his maiden. On best form, he could feature, but he's been well below that of late and needs to turn things around. Shalut, Kahungunu, and Lewandowski all look outclassed on recent form and will need to show significant improvement to figure. The map suggests a solid tempo, with Spirited Defense and Ganado likely to roll forward and control things early, while Wodares Wins settles off them and launches late. The synthetic surface suits both Spirited Defense and Wodares Wins, but with the best recent performance and tactical versatility, Spirited Defense gets the nod.
All right. The ratings. Take no notice of what she said about the map here. With Ganado coming out, the pace slackens a lot in this race. So, Spirited Defense, rated 2.1, being bet prohibitive odds of 1.22, deep in the red. Who Dares Wins, rated 4.0, oh no, 3.8, being bet at 9.0. Typhoon Tony, rated 11.0, being bet at 9.5. Charlotte, rated 16.0, being bet at 5.0. Kahunungu, rated, make that 38.0, being bet at 35. And Lewandowski, rated 70.0, being bet at 126. Look, it looks like a non-betting race on paper, with the favourite, the prohibitive short price of $1.22. By National Defence, a good son of Invincible Spirit, underrated. Getting some good runners here in Australia too. Out of the Testarossa mare. Wide margin winner by 5.2 last time out over 1200, but benefited from a decent tempo that day. And today, will it lead? I don't think it will lead, to tell you the truth. I don't know where she's pulled that from. One of interest, Typhoon Tony by Toronado out of a strategic mare. Every chance it will handle the all-weather. The jump out form isn't great, but it is second up here now. Well, not really second up off a 2-month break. It's been fresh from 2 months into this. The Ballarat win back on the 4th of November last prep was very good, overlining the Stars and Shifter. That was on the turf, a good 3, firm track. Who Dares Wins, being bet at 9.0. Synthetic winner last time out, came from midfield, slightly worse. You know, Queens of Vino, Lumosity, that was a good race that day. Yeah, I wouldn't get too carried away by the 5.2 length margin of Spirited Defence last time out. I'd be looking for something to try and beat it, and the way I'm thinking, I'd be leaning towards Typhoon Tony and Who Dares Wins, both with a little bit of hidden merit in their profiles to potentially roll it. You know, Spirited Defence has got a lump 59, Typhoon Tony gets in with 58, Who Dares Wins gets in with 57. Charlotte's Not Hopeless by Shalar out of a Street Cry mare after the 3 kg claim. But yeah, I'd be looking for reasons to try and oppose a $1.22 shot, obviously. If you want to fall into those sorts of odds, flip the channel and go somewhere else. Because we don't want punters here that want to take $1.22. Anyway, let's go to race 5. Bit of a tough betting card so far, punters. But you know, that's why we have the TWF mantra. Patience is a virtue. Race 5. It's got to go down a bit for race 5 because I did that last. You know. Race 5.
Race 5 at Ballarat. The Porter Plant maiden plate over 1,100 meters on the synthetic presents a high-pressure sprint with genuine early speed and a mix of exposed form and debutant intrigue. Welcome to the Show clearly sets the benchmark. He brings the strongest form lines, with placings at both Geelong and Moonee Valley in maidens that were notably deeper than this. He's been knocking on the door and retains the blinkers here, which keeps him sharp. With a soft midfield draw and a turn of foot suited to a solid tempo, he's well placed to finally break through. The class edge is his. Emperor Tsu profiles as the biggest threat. Trained by Siren Mar, he caught the eye on debut when running on strongly despite racing greenly. The rise to 1,100 meters looks ideal second up, and Mar's team excels with this type of improver. If he handles the synthetic surface, he can storm into contention late. Coyote, from the Hayes camp, comes off a strong third at Werribee, where he was prominent throughout in a decent maiden. He has tactical speed and scope for improvement, but from barrier 13, he'll need a sharp ride to offset the draw. If he gets across cleanly, he's right in the mix. Brave Carol has shown enough in her 2 runs to suggest she's up to this level. She'll roll forward from a wide draw, but barrier 11 and a less experienced rider raise some concerns. Still, if she lands in the first pair without burning too much early, she's capable of holding on for a place. Among the debutants, Hebridean Way and Chills and Thrills deserve respect based on stable and profile. Hebridean Way, another Maha runner, could be above average. Watch for market moves. Chills and Thrills is a 2-year-old from the Hayes team drawn well in barrier 3, and while untested, she profiles as a filly with upside. Show No Doubt has shown something in jump outs, but draws the car park in barrier 15. She needs everything to go right. Star of Ravenna has speed and will be prominent early, but Barrier 12 and patchy form make her hard to trust late. Expect Brave Carol and Star of Ravenna to push the tempo early, with Welcome to the Show and Emperor Zoo stalking from midfield. If the leaders overdo it, those with finishing power and racecraft should have the final say. Welcome to the Show holds the edge on form, Emperor Zoo is the big improver, and Coyote and Brave Carol look next best. Watch the betting on the Mahir and Hayes debutants. They add real X factor to this contest.
Yeah, okay, so here's what I'm thinking here. No doubt, I'll just run through the market first. Okay, Coyote comes out 16%, 50 cents. All right. Welcome to the Show, rated 2.7, being bet at 2.5. Emperor Zoo, rated 4.1. Emperor Zoo. Where are you? Or are you out? Emperor Zoo. Oh, yeah. Rated 4.1, being bet at 3.4. Brave Carol, rated 7.5, being bet at 11.0. Interesting runner. Habradean Way, the Frankel youngster, rated 10.0, being bet at 8.5. Chills and Thrills, rated 13.0, being bet at 3.1. Second favourite, looks unders. But we'll get to that in a second. Show No Doubt, rated 21.0, being bet at 46.0. And Star of Ravenna, rated 42.0, being bet at 51.0. All right, now, we'll start with the favourite. Welcome to the Show. Yeah, no doubt. Looks like a horse with ability on its recent jump out form. Third, both of its first two starts. Has to go to the all-weather now. Never seen it, never been on it. Well, not publicly anyway. But by showtime, the good son of Snitzel, he's capable of getting a good horse out of a Shamadal mare. Bottom half of the pedigree says it should handle the all-weather. If you want to be taking 2.5 about it, when it is minor unders versus the ratings, and I think it may be a bit short in the ratings because I think there's a bit of ability elsewhere here. The 5 Brave Carol by Brave Smash out of a Manhattan Rain mare. Jump out winner at Donald back on the 5th of May. First time also on the all-weather. Has speed. It's an interesting runner. Being bet at 11.0. Like, they jump out form when it won at Donald on the 5th of May. Yeah, it's moderate, but it's not great. Couple of two-year-olds in this that could run good. The 10, Emperor Zoo, by Maurice out of a Quest for Fame mare, who was pretty smart. Only beaten 2.9 lengths on debut in a decent race, a decent two-year-old race behind Demarque and Miscellaneous. And then Habradean Way is the one that is really interesting. By Frankel out of the Zoffany mare, Walk This Way. Excellent pedigree. On debut, jump out second behind Legacy Bound at Cramden back on the 25th of November. It's been given 2 jump outs this time in, likely to have come on since the debut jump out preparation. And the form when it ran second to Legacy Bound, the Ole Kirk youngster. Well, Legacy Bound's come out and won 2 from 2 now, including the Group 3 breeders. And also, third home out of that, has also produced very good subsequent jump out form. Look, the fact they're going to bet you 8.5 Habradean Way, it's a nice price. It's a very nice price. It's a very nice price. Tongue tie first time, Ma trained, 2 soft trials leading in what looks a very winnable race. The 12, Show No Doubt, it's a real speed on speed pedigree. I can't believe this is $46. They've got that wrong. That price is completely wrong. Real speed on speed pedigree. And the other thing too, 2-year-old at the back end of the season taking on older horses. That's always a good that's always a good formula for me, especially when it's say August foal, right? You're talking about a 21st of August foal. It's not like it's a November foal. So yeah, that's something that really interests me. The most recent jump out win at Ballarat over an Ole Kirk 2-year-old, and Sungazer back in third. Well, we know how good Ole Kirk's doing at the moment. And the third home, 2-year-old Chestnut Colt by Zoostar, who then came out and ran second to Bertrand in another jump out on the back of that. Let's go a little bit deeper. I can't believe this is $46. Fourth, fifth, sixth. Yeah, the jump out form around fourth home's good by Toronado. Fifth home by Prasia. Excellent jump out form prior to debut. Ran second at Mornington on debut behind Hot Whiskies when it tried to make all. And the sixth home, Listen to Excite by Flying Artie. What, had a leg cut off? Is it missing a leg or something that we don't know about? Yeah. Just let's go down through the rest of them. 13-star Ravenna by Honorius out of Master of Design Mare. And then you've got the Trapeze Artist Youngster Chills and Thrills, which is right in the market at 3.10 for the Hayes boys. Understandable, but, you know, I'd be leaning towards Habrady Way, the 2-year-old by Frankel, which, by the way, is a September foal, 5th of September. It's 8.50, 3.50. 8.50 the win, 3.5 the drum. And Show No Doubt, 46 and 18.5. Only 2 place dividends, but that 18.5 the place is exceptionally good value. Yeah. That's the way I'd be looking in that race, punters. That is the way I would be looking. And take no notice of it saying drawn barrier 15 for Show No Doubt. You know, there's a plethora of scratchings in the race, so, you know, it's not that hard of an alley to overcome when it's, what, now drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's now drawn 6, you know, not 15, it's drawn 6. And the bloke on social media the other day that wanted to tell me, that's the car park. It's not the car park. You don't know what you're talking about. Right, let's go to race 6. That's potentially best betting angle we've found so far today, that race. Race 6, Ballarat.
Race 6 at Ballarat, the high gain winner's choice 0 to 64 handicap over 1,100 meters on the synthetic, sets up as a fast run sprint with a hot early tempo expected thanks to Final Atom and Just Remember It, both pushing forward from the gates. Cosmic Rhapsody looks the class runner and a true synthetic specialist. He comes off a strong win here at Ballarat, over 1,000 meters in benchmark 64 grade, and boasts a terrific record on this surface. 4 wins from 17 starts. He handles pressure, can settle just off the speed, and from a midfield draw, he maps to stalk the leading pair and pounce late. Even with 59 kilos, he's the proven commodity under these conditions and commands respect. Just Remember It is a highly progressive 3-year-old. He won his maiden at Pakenham with authority and backed it up with a strong third here on the synthetic behind a handy winner. He's got early speed, a lightweight, and still has plenty of upside. From a good draw, he's right in this up to his ears and could go to another level. Final Atom brings sharp recent form, winning at Horsham in benchmark 58 grade, where he led and kept finding. That was a tough on-speed effort, and if he brings that same style here and adapts well to the synthetic surface, he'll give a strong sight again. The 59.5 kilos is a test, but he makes his own luck on speed. What You Will is the wild card. She's a 3-year-old filly with upside after a maiden win at Werribee, and she looks to have a bit of talent. The 2 big unknowns are the synthetic surface and the rising class. If she handles both, she can figure, but she'll need to lift. Male Model is coming off a win over 1,400 meters, but the sharp drop back to 1,100 is a genuine query, especially on this surface. He gets a 3-kilo claim, which helps, but whether he's sharp enough here is the question. Auckland has been consistent in benchmark 58 grade, but his synthetic record is poor and he's rising in class. While he rarely runs a bad race, he looks more likely to be fighting for the minors today. The map suggests Final Atom and Just Remember It go forward and roll at a strong tempo, setting it up for a horse like Cosmic Rhapsody to stalk and strike late. He's the one with the proven record, but Just Remember It's upside and Final Atom's toughness keep it interesting. What You Will has the talent to surprise if she handles the surface, while Male Model and Auckland look place chances at best.
All right. Look, the market's struggling to work this out. It's 3.5 to 6.5 the market. So 3 points separate the favourite to the outsider here. But we'll run through the prices and then I want to give you my opinion on what's going to happen here. Cosmic Rhapsody, top rated. How many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, nothing out. All right, cool. Cosmic Rhapsody, top rated 3.5, being bet at 6.5. I think she's wrong there. I don't think it should be favourite at all whatsoever. The 6, Just Remember It, rated 4.0, being bet at 4.0. The 1, Final Adam, rated 5.0, being bet at 6.0. The 8, Watch Your Wheel, rated 8.0. I think she's got that wrong, being bet at 4.8. She says unders, I don't. 3, Male Model, rated 12.0, being bet at 5.5. And 9, Auckland, rated 25.0, being bet at 3.6 favourite. All right, so let's just take a look at these to start with, top to bottom. 96 in the field, won't take long. The 1, Final Adam, 7-year-old by Atomic out of a Crystal Finale mare. No more upside, 3 from 27 winner. Winner last started Horsham where it got to make all and win by 1.25. I'm just checking something. Never been on the synthetic. The 3, by Inference out of a Testarossa mare. Gets it with 56.5 after the claim for the Bug Girl Tiani Chapman. Last start winner at Hamilton over 1400. Now first up into this, no public trial or jump out leading in. Interesting. First up, hasn't won first up prior. The fact that they've gone for a 3 kilo Bug Girl is a little bit surprising. That sort of screams at clutching at straws to me. The 4, Cosmic Rhapsody, an 8-year-old by Star Witness out of a Rocket Gibraltar mare. Yeah, it's well bred, but you know how much more upside's there on the back of winning at Ballarat last time out over Tomb Pine and Fragile Love. We've got the perfect trip, every favour, and on the synthetic prior to that first up was beaten 3.9. That brings us down to the next 3. 6, Just Remember It, by Hellbent out of the Hinchinbrook Mare First Channel. We were on this when it won first up at Pakenham on the 8th of May. That was a good win that day. It won by 2. Wide the margin in deep stretch. That was over 1,000. Goes to 1,100. It's been on the synthetic once before. Last start 3rd, where it got too far back. I was surprised it was ridden that cold at Ballarat last time out on the 22nd of May, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Lump 59 that day, 59 again today. If it gets the right trip here, which it looks like it will from the two alley, it's going to be pretty hard to hold out on that first up win at Pakenham when it knocked off Zubel and too darn cold. Seraphin said she doesn't know if What You Will handle the all-weather. I've got no doubt it'll handle the all-weather, being by Sapido, the good son of Sebring out of a Testarossa mare. The debut win at Werribee was very good. Then, the most recent jump out, the debut win at Werribee was very good. Second out of it came out and won at Cranbourne next time out for a 40k tag. Third home came out and won a few starts later, also at Cranbourne for a 40k tag and a decent maiden. Other winners further back. But the other thing to note here is the most recent jump out win at Horsham, or trial win at Horsham over Jam and Ginny and Triple O was decent. Second home come out and won at Pakenham first up for a 40k tag, rather impressively too. And he's now a 2 from 6 winner by Jimmy Creed. And good form references further back, good margins. So, speed on speed pedigree, plenty of upside in it. And at its second career start too, it was thrown in the deep end behind Sweethearted and Band of Brothers at Geelong in a 175k 3-year-old race. So, they obviously had a bit of an opinion of it after it won on debut. Looks like it's come on since its debut prep back on the 8th of December, 4th of January. You know, it sort of sets the standard, doesn't it? As a lightly raced improver. That and Just Remember It looked the two to me. One's 4.0, the other's 4.80. What's that? 47% of the market, about an angle combined by backing both of them for a result across the race. You know, 47% they occupy in the market. Really, they should be about 1.80 combined and occupy 55% of the market. So you're getting good overs about the two of them, really, at the end of the day. You go deeper into it and it looks right. I'd say that's the way we'll be playing that race. But, you know, that's sort of like, It's a little bit like a win banker bet. When you've got two horses that are 4.0 and 4.80, they occupy 47% of the market, and you've got them rated to 55% of the market, 3 units on each to get 12 units back, or, 14.4 units back, outlay 6 to get 12 or 14.4. It's a pretty good betting angle from a strength point of view. I'm not saying that's the way we're definitely going to play, but that's the way my mind's thinking at the moment. I will go deeper into the race in the lounge, and you'll get that if you're in the TWF lounge. What easier way to sit back and cruise and make money all day? Race ratings, live trader, best 5 of the day. Pretty hard to go past, Google it. My username, TWF Horse Racing. Just go to twfhorseracing.com. It's live, I can say here. Say what I want. Anyway, punters, let's go to race 7. So, the second half of the card's starting to look all right. We're starting to get a little bit of depth and value here. Or confidence. Race 7, eh?
Race 7 at Ballarat, the Sportsbet Feed Benchmark 64 handicap over 1,400 meters on the synthetic, brings together a competitive field of proven performers and progressive types, with the race likely to favor those on speed in what's expected to be a moderately run contest. Epice Dio looks the horse they all have to get past. He comes off a strong second placing here at Ballarat over this distance in BM 64 grade, beaten just a quarter of a length after dictating terms from the front. He's won 3 races at 1,400 meters, has a great record at this track, and maps to lead again from barrier 7. Harry Coffey knows this circuit inside out, and with a recent jump out win under his belt, Epix Dio looks at peak fitness and well positioned to control the race from the front. Choubel profiles as the key danger. She's building momentum nicely, winning her maiden at Clinton and then stepping up to score again at Geelong in BM 58 grade. She draws ideally in barrier 1, possesses tactical versatility, and her late splits, such as a slick 35.51 seconds for the final 600 meters at Geelong, suggest she's got a turn of foot that can match it in better company. She'll get a soft run in behind and be saved for one last shot. Our Wishbone brings intrigue as a lightly raced 4-year-old. He was dominant in breaking his maiden at Seymour over 1,300 meters, putting over 3 lengths on his rivals, and did it with authority. He's in the right hands with Archie Alexander and Fred Kersley, and while the synthetic surface is an unknown, his pedigree and progression hint at more to come. If he handles the track, he's right in this. Hell of a Trip is a genuine Ballarat synthetic specialist. She's had 4 runs on this surface for 2 wins, including her last start victory over 1,200 meters in BM 64 grade. The step to 1,400 meters is a slight concern, but she's flying and can't be dismissed. Fake Magic is an honest performer with strong Tasmanian form, but he carries 63.5 kilos here, and that big weight is the main obstacle. His overall record is consistent, 6 wins and 15 placings from 40 starts, but he may be more of a place chance today. Snatched will need a hot speed from barrier 8 to be effective late. She has talent, but her racing pattern and map don't quite suit unless the leaders overdo it. Dara Linen and Feudal Empire appear outclassed in this field and will need significant improvement to feature. Expect Epis Dio to lead and try to control proceedings, with our Wishbone and Choubel getting lovely trails in behind. Hell of a Trip should stop just off them, hoping to see out the trip. It shapes as a tight finish, but Epix Dio's track record, race fitness, and tactical advantage give him the upper hand.
Yeah, I sort of disagree with it to a point here. All right, we'll run through the market prices and I'll give you my read on it. All right, the market as we see it, as it sits at the moment, it's not a very deep race this, it's a very winnable affair. About 1,400, Epic Dew rated 4.0, being bet at 2.8 unders. Choubel rated 4.6, being bet at 4.6, right price. Our Wishbone rated 5.2, being bet at 3.9 unders. Hell of a Trip rated 7.0, being bet at 5.5. Fake Magic rated 9.2, being bet at 8.0. Snatched rated 14.0, being bet at 7.5 unders. Dara Linen rated 58.0, being bet at 67. And Feudal Empire rated 110, 116 being bet at 126. All right, so I'm going to run down through these and give you my opinion on the way the race is going to play out. I don't think the pace will be hectic here. I think it'll be moderate at best. Fake Magic, the top one, 63.5, that's right. It's going to prove a test. Place 5 of 8 on the synthetic in Tasmania. The 2, Epic Dude by Inference out of a Denman mare. Moderate form leading in. 4th of 11 last time out, beaten 1.6 for a 35k tag at Ballarat. Hasn't been on the synthetic before. 2 from 2 on the heavy suggests to me that it's not going to handle the all-weather here. The 3, Our Wishbone by Epaulette out of a Denman mare, speed on speed. Impressive winning first up from a spell over 1300 at Seymour. Goes to 1400 now. Second up fitter. Well, not second up fitter. Well, it is second up fitter, but the thing you need to remember, it was coming off a 1.5-year break prior to that, but it had numerous jump outs and trials leading in. So how much scope for improvement second up? Got a slight query there. It was a wide margin win. It was impressive. Goes to the all-weather now. So it's a little bit of a query. The 4, Shabale by Harry Angel out of an arena mare. It's won its last 2 on end at Kyneton and Geelong. Tight margins both time. Expected to do it at Kyneton when it was breaking its maiden, but then made it 2 on end at 17-1. Last time at Geelong when it knocked off Diamond War and Scorched Lane. Hell of a trip. Impressive last time out over 1200 on the synthetic, and that was on the back of a good jump out, good trial second on the heath track at Caulfield. It's now 2 from 4 on the synthetic. Patrick and Michelle Payne, T.O. Nugent up. The form out of that last win was decent, but it was a filly and mare's maiden. Fillies and mares BM64. The 6, Snatched Written by out of an Oratorio mare. Freshened 21 days into this. The last start well below par is a 5.0 chance. That's what creates the value factor here, being bet at 7.5. Never been on the synthetic. The Pakenham jump out win prior to the start of this prep was good. Just it deserved one more chance. The 4th of 11, 2 back at Ballarat, says it deserves one more chance. It got in a bit of trouble that day. Probably should have finished closer. The 7, Dara Linen, well, you can have it if you want. And the 8, Feudal Empire is a decent runner. It's very well bred by Capitalist out of a well-related Reduced Choice mare, Belle Couture, but it's 3rd up into this now. Goes to 1400, tried 1600 first up, then dropped back to 1200 last start. Now it's on a quick 10-day backup. In with 54 kg. I don't think it should be 126 to 1. It may run some kind of race, $21 to place in a pretty wishy-washy kind of race. It may run some kind of race, Feudal Empire. 3rd up, 1600 first up, back to 1200 second up, off a month break. Now on a quick 10-day backup, back out to 1400 metres. Yeah, it's an interesting runner. It's a very different prep. But yeah, I'm struggling to work that race out or get confident about anything initially without going too deep. The 3, Our Wishbone, slightly raced, good upside, wide margin winner last time out, but it has to go to the all-weather. So yeah, I've struggled to make anything of that race yet until I go deep into it. And then race 8, Punters.
Race 8 at Ballarat, the high gain winner's choice benchmark 64 handicap over 2100 meters wraps up the card with a compact but intriguing field of 7 stayers following scratchings. The true rail and synthetic surface tend to favor those on speed, though any genuine tempo can still bring the closers into play. Also clear is the one they'll all have to catch. He's in terrific form, coming off a dominant Ballarat synthetic win over 2,000 meters in BM64 grade, and then backing it up with a strong second placing in BM70 company at Cranbourne over 2080 meters. He handles this track well, maps to settle in a perfect position just behind the speed, and gets the benefit of Jayla Kennedy's 1.5 kilo claim. That claim brings him in very nicely at the weights, and he's clearly in career best shape. From a good draw, he's the horse to beat. Mozu Markison looms as the key danger. He's dropping back in grade after contesting a benchmark 70 and has form that includes a win on the synthetic at Swan Hill over 2,400 meters and a strong victory at Sandown over 1,800. He does his best work over further, so 2,100 meters might be a touch short of his peak, and barrier 8 isn't ideal. But with Ryan Houston's claim and a touch of class on his side, he's right in the finish if things go smoothly early. 8 under is the progressive one. The 4-year-old has strung together back-to-back wins at Kinnerton and Mildura over staying trips, and he maps beautifully here from barrier 1. With Zach Spain on board and confidence high, he should land just behind the leaders and get every chance to grind into the finish. This is a step up, but he's trending the right way. No matter what brings consistent form, including a last start win at Warwick Nebule over 2,000 meters in 0:58 grade. She's fit and honest, but draws wide in barrier 9 and takes a leap in class here, which raises some doubts against these stronger stayers. African Pioneer has a past Ballarat win on his resume, but hasn't shown enough lately to suggest he can beat this field without a big lift in performance. MR Tadashi and Tim Onlees round out the field, but both face significant challenges in terms of both class and barrier position, and look tested against this company. The map has also clear and Mozu Markison likely to take up prominent spots, with 8 under tucked in right behind. The tempo should be honest enough to give everyone their chance, but in the end, also clear brings the best current form, track suitability, and tactical setup to control this race. He's the clear top pick, with Mozu Markison's class and 8 unders momentum making them the main challengers.
All right, let's have a look at the market. Making sure these are all out. 1, 4, 8, 9, yeah. Okay, all right. Also clear rated 3.3, being bet at 2.4. Mozu Markison rated 3.9, being bet at 2.9 unders, both of the top 2. The 7, 8 under, rated 5.5, being bet at 11.0. Coming into this with picket fence form. The 10, no matter what, rated 8.5, being bet at 15.0. The 5, African Pioneer, rated 13.0. Where's it? Being bet at 16.0 versus rating of 13.5. The 6, Mr. Tadashi, rated 22.0, being bet at 10.0 unders. And 11, Time on Lees, Timmy on Lees, rated 28.0, being bet at 6.0 unders, supposedly. All right, so let's just run down and try and get a read on this, hey? They go 2,100. The 2, Mozu Markison, by the good son of Deep Impact, who can get a good dirt runner, Silver State, out of Rocker Gibraltar mare, a Japanese-bred Rocker Gibraltar mare. 3 from 21 winner. She's a 1 from 1 winner, or he's a 1 from 1 winner on the synthetic. 1,800 metre Sandown winner 4-back. Then went to Saturday Company at Caulfield for 130k midfield, only beaten 2.4 where it tried to make all. Dropped in class, out in trip to 2,500 2-back, and then 4th of 11, dropping in class again at Ballarat last time out on a soft 5. Now gets conditions to suit. 60.5 after the claim for Ryan Houston. That's 3 kilos up on its Sandown win 5-back. The win on the all-weather that it's got came, I will tell you, came in Japan. All right. Yeah, so it's only been in Australia since May last year. Oh no, the win on the all-weather came at Pakenham on the synthetic over 2,200, sorry, back on the 15th of July when it knocked off Jenny Jangles and Avenues. That was a pretty decent race that day, but it was expected to go well as a 2.5 chance. You know, love the dirt in Japan. The couple of times it was on it. The 3 also clear by So You Think, out of a New Zealand bred postponed mare who was smart, Dorabella. In with 60 after the claim. The Ballarat win 2-back, tight margins over Panine Way and Dartboard, but franked it second last time out at Cranbourne on a good track over 2,080. 4 from 33, win at 10 further seconds, probably could have won a few more times. Does that mean it's well handicapped? Potentially yes, but it is a 2.4 favourite. The 5, Not Hopeless by Lonro out of the Pivotal mare. Progeny Pivotal generally tend to handle the all-weather. Place 1 of 2 on the synthetic. The 6, Mr. Tadashi, looks like it's out of form. Comes down from Brisbane and northern New South Wales for this prep. Third up into this. Fitter, 1,600 metres first up. Then went to 2,000 at Ballarat last time. Now goes to the all-weather. Never been on it. Out of an all-too-hard mare by Maurice. 58.5 after the claim. Yeah, the 7, 8 under by Spieth out of an Alamosa mare. I've got a query if it's going to handle the synthetic with that pedigree. 2,000 metre winner at Mildura last time out. 2 tight margin wins, breaking its maiden, then in a 0 to 58. Got a query whether it's going to handle this. The 10, No Matter What, 6-year-old by Fox Wedge out of a Woodman mare. 2,000 metre winner at Warracknabeal, 2 back. Given a jump out over 1,000 in prep for this at Hamilton. Hasn't been to the synthetic. And time on leads. It may be the one with a bit of hidden merit in its profile. By Turn Me Loose out of a Pins mare, the good son of Ifraj. Turn Me Loose. You can get a good horse and you can get a horse that stays. 1,500 metres first up on the synthetic. Beaten by Lucky Compass in the darkness back in third. A couple of winners have come out of that. It was a good race. Then went to Warracknabeal. Second again, beaten 1.5 as a 3.5 favourite. And last time at Kyneton, over 1,850 midfield. Ridden sort of upside down that day compared to the first up effort and second up effort. And got in a bit of trouble too at the final stage. Now out to 2,000 metres, 4th up, peak fitness. Drops to 54 kg. There's a lot to like about that setup. 6.0, 2.6. Considering the top 2 have got big weights, the 2 favourites, Mozuma Carson and Also Clear. This one, 4 starts on the synthetic or the all-weather, 1 win, 1 second, 1 third. More to come yet from the McAvoy yard. Harry Coffey up. Sort of profile's all right, time on lease. So I think she's read that wrong, completely wrong. But anyway, these things happen. So, you know, there's a little bit of merit in this card. The first race is a potential decent betting race. Just flicking back through them, the ones that were sort of making appeal. Race 4, was it? Just let me pull up this sheet. Race 1, race 2. I've gone through each race, but, you know, where I'm sort of seeing the advantage, Just Remember It and What You Will looked the 2 in race 4, in race 6. There's been a couple of big odds that were worth having a look at. Yeah, so, you know, it's not that bad of a betting card. Oh, well, it's not that good of a betting card, I mean. There's only a couple of races that I'm really interested in getting involved in from a confidence perspective early on. Race 2. Yeah, but you're going to get all that info if you're in the lounge today. If you've made notes, you know where to be betting this card. Race 5. Race 5 was a potential good betting race. With the Frankel youngster, Haberdee Way now up to 10.0, was 8.5 before. And the 12, Show No Doubt, 46.0 and 17.7. That's the wrong price as far as I'm concerned. Race 6, Just Remember It and What You Will, they look the 2 there. Race 7, yeah, it's a little bit hard to get too interested in that race, wasn't it? The 8, Feudal Empire. Did I mention that? I think I talked about it, didn't I? As a potential improver, Feudal Empire. Was it? No, not. Yeah, Feudal Empire is a potential improver there at a big price. The 126 is wrong. And yeah, race 8, Time on Lease looks the one that's progressive. That's how I see Ballarat. These shows I thought it was only going to take 40 minutes to get through a card. I've only scheduled this show for an hour and a half, so we're not going to get through the Brisbane card. What I am going to do is run through some of the Blackbook Runners that are around today, give you some other angles to look at in the next 25 minutes, because I'm wrapping it at 10:30. I've got other stuff to do to get ready for the day. Doomben race 2. I'm just going to run through these quickly and see what angles we've got. Doomben race 2. The number 12, Valencia Rock, is a Blackbook runner. By 10 sovereigns out of a Rip Van Winkle mare. First up from a spell, the jump out win back on the 19th of November. The trial win at Doomben was good. If it brings that here, it's going to be some sort of chance. What price is it? Currently 11.0, 2.05. That's now upgraded to a good 4. That's the other reason I'm not going to read out the Doomben card, because I've actually done the previews for a soft 5. Yeah, but I wouldn't be too concerned about Valencia Rock's trial leading in this prep, because that was on a heavy track when it was beaten 12.5 behind Deep Vegas. Like, the horse has got a very good pedigree by 10 sovereigns out of a Rip Van Winkle mare, and it's a cross that works as well. It's a nick that works. 10 sovereigns being a son of No Nay Never, and Rip Van Winkle being a son of Galileo. We know that cross and that nick works Northern Hemisphere time, purely by the horses you see that Coolmore produce. It's a nick that they use. The next Black Booker is the first at Randwick. We'll just go there. Cold Brew. What price is it? Currently 2.60 favourite. It's being bet at, 2.6 favourite. Cold Brew. First up from a spell by Piero out of the Fastnet Rockmare. Place 3 of 4 for the Richard and Will Friedman yard. Draws the 3. Good trial win on a heavy track leading in over Kowloon Victor and Cross Tasman. It looks a likely type. I haven't gone deeper into it yet. Cross Tasman's also in this race, a debut runner for O'Shea. It's $11. The next in the first race at Mount Gambier, I'm not even going to mention, it's too short. Race 2 at Mount Gambier is the next one after that. This might go around a bit of a price, this. Race 2 at Mount Gambier. What price is it on here? Mount Gambier, race 2. Today. No, it's not going to go around the price. But anyway, I'm still going to talk about it because it's a decent type. It's a heavy track over at Mount Gambier today. 1,400 metres this race is. 3-year-old by Trapeze Artist out of a Mossman mare today. It's been in the Black Book for a while. Was racing in Brisbane, or debuted in Brisbane, and then sent south to Victoria. Now ships across the border for Peter Chow, who trains out of Warrnambool. So it's dropping into a weaker race. The 3rd of 14 at Hamilton, only beaten 0.9 of a length over 1,400 on a soft 6 first up. Likely to come on from that. There's every chance that maiden won't be very deep. There's a $1.65 favourite in the race laying up. 4-year-old by Cable Bay out of a Dewporth mare. It's had a few chances. Place 5 of 7 versus Tadea, who's a Black Book runner, by Trapeze Artist out of a Mossman mare. So that's a potential angle. Tadea, if it can get across from the outside from a wide gate, starting to look like a half decent price. Doomben. I'm just going to go back to Doomben now. There's 2 in race 4 at Doomben. Which are, I'm just going to check the prices. Doomben race 4. They are Dark Leam and Mr. O'Reilly. Mr. O'Reilly's 23.0, Dark Leam's 10.0. Look, Maine's going to be hard. Maine was very impressive winning second up for the Archibald yard on the poly track, but now has to switch back to the turf. Mr. O'Reilly by Dubious out of a Saberville mare. First up into this, broke its maiden at the Sunshine. Made it 2 on end at the Sunshine Coast after breaking its maiden over 1,800. Goes 13.50 first up on the back of a good trial second to Hereditary over 1,000, suggesting it'll be ready for this first up tilt. Juvies on top of that pedigree says it'll get the 1350. That's not too short for it at all, even though it's out of the Sava-Bill mare. And the 4 Dark Lean, which won last start at the Sunshine Coast, when it lumped 60.5, drops to 58. It's got Sydney form. It's a chance of making it 2 on end. They're both nice prices by Brazen Bow out of an Exceed and Excel mare. Draws to 1 alley. It's going to appreciate being back on top of the ground too, considering it won its maiden at Kembla in a decent race back on the 12th of December over 1200. It was expected to do 3.50 favourite, got in a bit of trouble, won by widening 1.3, so it's got upside Dark Lean. 10.0 is a half decent price about that. Yeah, it's a wide open affair that, outside of the 13 November Sun, which is a dominant favourite. And you see why. Decent pedigree by the Autumn Sun out of a French-bred Ifrage mare. What's the next Blackbook? Randwick Race 4. It's 4 in that. I'm not even going to bother talking about that race. What you will in Ballarat Race 6. And just remember it. That race that I talked about earlier. They're both Blackbook horses. That just sort of doubles down on the confidence of that as a betting race. One was 4.0, the other one was 4.8. 47% of the market between the two of them. Yeah, so that sort of confirms having them rated to 55% of the market. You know, you're getting better than even money about something that should be a combined 1.80 chance. Doomben Race 6, next Blackbooker, which is New Joy. What price is it? Goes around 3.30. It's won its last 3 on end for Michael Nolan. Talia Fenton claims 2. So it gets in with 58. It went into the Blackbook on the 27th of the 11th. So it's been a very positive Blackbook runner for us, this prep, winning 3 from 3. And it went into the Blackbook on the back of winning at Doomben over 2,000. When it knocked off Aldenari, the Irish bred, and Aiden back on the 26th of October. And it's since won 3 from 3 this prep. First up Toowoomba, second up Ipswich, third up Doomben, 11.0, 5.0, 4.80. So it's been a really good Blackbook horse, this prep. Now goes out to 1,650. Can it make it 4 on end? Yeah, I'm not going to go too deep into that now. 6 from 20 winner. Yeah, if you want to go there, you're more than welcome to. By Heroic Fella, the good son of Fastnet Rock. I think he won an Irish New Zealand 2,000 guineas from memory. You win a New Zealand 2,000 guineas? No, he won the Sistema. Ran second. He ran third in the 2,000 guineas. But he did win a Group 1 level in the Sistema over 1,200 metres, which is a good starting making race. Race 5 at Randwick. There's 3 Blackbookers in that. It may be a value affair. You've got Pashira for number 5, the 3 California Rose, and the 6 She Conquers. What prices are they? Randwick Race 5. It's only 6 race card at Randwick today. Pashira 7.5, California Sunrise 3.2, and is it She Conquers? Yeah, She Conquers 21.0. Just going to have a look at that quickly. Race 6. What is it? Race 5 at Randwick. Yeah, small field. Don't forget it's a heavy track there today. Oh, it's now soft 7. It's been upgraded this morning. Right, there's no pace in the race. It's only one noted leader, which is Pashira. There's one of the Blackbookers going around at 7.5. Second run after Shipping North from Victoria. Only got beaten 0.35 of a length on a heavy track, 12.50 last time out. That was off a month, just over a month break. 2 weeks off into this, back onto a soft 7. Last start win at Sandown on the lakeside track over 1,400. 1,400 again today. Drops 2.5 off that win into this. Oh, drops a kilo off that win into this. The other Blackbooker was the 3 California Surprise by Piero out of an I'm Invincible mare. First up, second to Hellbent on You on a heavy track. on the Kensington track here. Then went to 160k Saturday race on a heavy track over 1500, got too far back. Fifth to Mickey's medal, doing its best work through the line over 1500, back to 1400 now, back on the firmer ground. It's a winner on the good, place 3 or 4 on the soft. And the 6 She Conquers by Unite and Conquer, the son of Better Than Ready out of a Sebring mare. Is it? No, Unite and Conquers. That doesn't sound right. Sorry, Unite and Conquer by Hinchinbrook out of a Sebring mare. 1200 metre maiden, 1200 metre BM64 winner 2 back at Kembla, doing its best work through the line. Then went to a heavy track last time out. Back to a soft 7 now, out to 1400. You'd be expecting a new peak, in with 54.5, down 2 kilos off its win 2 back. There may be a bit of hidden merit there at $21. And then, yeah, that's a Blackbook. I'll come back later. I'll do the same for Happy Valley. Look, if you go to @race previews, Happy Valley, the first 5 races are up there. The last 4 races for Happy Valley are up on twfhorseracing.com. The ratings have been on absolute fire. You should be using them. The amount of trifectas, first fours, shit quaddies, big price winners. There were 2 yesterday, $31 and $81, which were massive overs. Yeah, like, if you're not using the computer ratings, which are different from Seraphine's ratings, I've got a lot more input into the computer ratings where I don't with these ones. Yeah, you know, we win when you win, punters. I hope you've enjoyed the live. It's an hour and 20 minutes. That's enough for me. I've got other shit to do. I'll see you in the big time, eh? We win when you win. See you.